Hey, what's up YouTube? Travis here. I want to do a video tonight to show off a new pipe. Well, new pipe, but I'll explain that here, and I wanted to show you a little bit about it. So, a little bit of backstory. A few months ago now, I made a purchase on eBay of a couple of estate pipes. I probably won't link the video, but in previous videos you can see. And one of them is a Mulaga pipe. So this is it here. I'm going to try to pan back and then bring it in close because I can't tell what you're seeing. But anyway, I shined up the bowl with some Walker Briarworks bowl polish and wax, carnauba wax and bowl polish. And if you remember, and if you don't, I'll tell you now, the bowl's kind of heavy. As far as I know, it's briar. It's custom carved, Mulaga pipes out of Michigan, and the very long stem here is just a little bit out of balance. So it's a nice acrylic stem. I mean, I can hold it fine, but it definitely puts a little bit of weight, especially when you try to clench. I mean, this is okay, but for long periods of time it starts to get a little bit heavy. And, so I got it packed up, I just haven't started smoking yet. Got some Escudo in my mouth. There's quite a bit of tooth chatter. Try to show that. Hopefully that shows up okay on the stem. So I wasn't really happy with this, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do until I took inspiration from 3 different pipe presenters, and those 3 pipe presenters would be PipefriendCHS, Pipelawyer, and Stormwulf, in no particular order. But what I did is I got the idea of getting a replacement stem for this from Pipe Makers Emporium, or something like that, pipemakers.org. I got that idea from Stormwulf. He had done a video showing some stems that he purchased to make forever stems for his cobs, because it was cheaper than ordering them, and he could do it himself no problem. So I did that. I figured out the size of the shank here on the pipe, and it's not exact. I didn't bring out the micrometer or anything like that, but I thought it's okay. I have an idea if it's not exactly the same size of a way to make this still work. And it turns out my stem was just a smidge smaller. So what I did was I did kind of similar to one of the pipes that PipefriendCHS smokes quite a bit, is that the stem does not fit completely into the shank of the pipe. There's just a small gap, and it's kind of rounded. I tried to round it back a little bit, and I kind of like it that way, because it wouldn't look very right if it sat flush and was a little bit smaller, but since it sits just outside of flush, I think it looks okay. And then I got the idea from Pipelawyer to make exchangeable stems, so I purchased a couple. So far I've only put one in, but I wanted to show you. Here is what I purchased from Walker, or sorry, not Walker Briarworks, that's where I got the stem polish. Pipe Makers Emporium. This is, I hope you can tell, a nice green emerald type stem blank, basically, where the mouthpiece, it's a saddle bit, that's already cut and hole drilled and everything, but you can see the tenon that would go into the shank is way larger than any pipe tenon or any pipe shank is going to hold, so you can trim that down. You can even see where the acrylic's been stamped down. There you have some excess there. Hopefully that can be seen. But what I did was I started with Stormwulf's method of, oh well, I guess I'll continue this video later. Okay, so where was I talking about the stem blank? Alright, so I fashioned, so the first stem blank I was working with, I started off with sandpaper and was just turning it, and it would take it off incredibly slowly. I'd like to think that I have a little bit of patience, but this was just way too much. So, let me show you my miniature lathe that I assembled. I wouldn't say I built it or anything. And somebody else, I'm sure, has already done this, but it worked well for me, getting my little miniature Dremel out. So, there's the Dremel, and one of the bits, if I can find it, this bit right here, which I have no idea what this is actually for. somebody knows, and you can tell me. It looks like you could do rustication with it if you wanted to. But anyway, the hole in the middle of the pipe stem is just perfectly drilled where this will fit and it's snugly hold on here. So you can put this in and tighten the bit down. Oops. Oh, let me make sure that it's tight. I want to make sure it's tight before I turn this on to show you. And you can snug this on, and then just turn it on like this. It'll spin the mouthpiece, the stem. And then you can use another Dremel piece that I have. It's a hard sanding core, and I can draw down the side of the stem while it's on the Dremel to bring that off. And so it's basically like sanding it, only on what I call my miniature lathe now. But it worked out great. And I know that it just wouldn't work as well if it just didn't line up perfectly for that bit, for the hole, the way that it's drilled. So, without further ado, I'll show you the new stem blank that I did. This is a stem called Black Marble. So I'm going to get it in first and then show how this looks now. So this is the new pipe. It's the same pipe, but with a new stem. And if you can see right here, it doesn't fit right up close. I purposely did that since I saw that the stem is going to be slightly smaller than the pipe. But I've made this kind of into a little bit of a nose warmer now. So it sits a lot better in my jaw. It's not near as heavy feeling since the fulcrum shifted. Made the lever smaller. But I think it still looks pretty sharp with this black marble kind of stem. I don't know how well the coloring shows up. It may just look black to you. But it has this black marbling effect. I like the green one too. I'll probably eventually make this into a stem. Maybe for this pipe, maybe for a different pipe, I'm not sure yet. But anyway, that's the new pipe. Wanted to show you guys that. And I'm going to light up this bowl of Escudo Navy Deluxe and enjoy it. And I hope you guys have a nice evening.